Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the murky world of corporate filings, and today we're digging into OPENLANE Inc. Prepare yourselves because we're about to find out if their latest financial journey has been a smooth ride or a bit of a bumpy road. So what's the big news from OPENLANE? Well, they just dropped their financial report for the second quarter of 2025. And guys, this reads like a company is getting ready to talk about its performance to the public. They've announced their financial results for the 3 and 6 months that ended on June 30th, 2025. And even better, they're hosting an earnings call to discuss it all. It's like they're saying, here are the numbers, let's talk. Plus they've released supplementing's call to discuss it all. It's like they're saying, here are the numbers, let's talk. Plus they've released supplemental financial information and earnings slides for you to dig into. Now, OPENLANE is publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol CAR. This means their stock is out there for everyone to see and trade. It's how we can all keep an eye on how the market is reacting to their performance. This report is a standard filing, a current report that companies like OPENLANE have to submit whenever something important happens. It's all about keeping investors in the loop about what's going on with the company's operations and financial health. Think of it as their official way of talking to us, the investors, and today they're talking about their second quarter results. The real meat and potatoes are in the financial results they've announced. They're telling us how they did in the second quarter and for the first half of the year. This includes things like how much money they made, how much it cost them to make it, and ultimately if they ended up with a profit or a loss. These are the numbers that really tell the story of how the business is performing. Beyond the main press release, they've also decided to give us a bit more to chew on. We've got supplemental financial information, which usually means they're breaking down the numbers even further. It's like getting the director's cut of the financial report, and then there are the earnings slides, which are often used during those investor calls. These slides usually highlight the key takeaways and the most important figures for investors. It's their way of visually guiding us through their performance. The fact that they provided earnings slides suggests they want to make sure everyone understands the story behind the numbers. These slides are often crafted to tell a specific narrative about the company manages its image and communicates its strategy to the market. And who's giving us the official word? Well, it's Bradley Herring, the Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer. When the CFO signs off on a report, you know it's the official company line on their financial status. He's basically saying these numbers are accurate and this is what we're telling the world. Now let's talk about what this actually means for OPENLANE. While the filing itself doesn't contain the actual financial tables in the portion you can see, the references to the press release and supplemental information indicate that the detailed financials are available through those linked documents. The core purpose of this filing is to report the financial condition and results of operations. So based on the context of this filing, OPENLANE is reporting its financial results for the second quarter of 2025. This means we can eventually look at their revenue, their profits, their expenses, basically all the vital signs of the company. Are they growing? Are they shrinking? Are they making more money than last year or less? These are the questions we need to ask. With the release of financial results and supplemental materials, it implies that the company is anticipating scrutiny and wants to proactively communicate its performance. This is a standard practice for publicly traded companies and signals that they are prepared to discuss their financial health with investors. The key is to then go look at those actual financial statements that are referenced in the exhibits to get the real numbers. Looking at the broader picture, OPENLANE is in the business of automotive remarketing, which is essentially helping dealerships and others sell used cars. This is a competitive market influenced by economic cycles, the availability of new cars, and consumer demand for used vehicles. Their financial performance will directly reflect how well they are navigating these factors. If their second quarter results show strong revenue growth and healthy profits, it suggests they are successfully managing their operations and capturing market share. Conversely, any signs of slowdown or declining profitability could point to challenges they are facing in a tough economic climate or increased competition. But to really get the Warren Buffett style analysis, we need those numbers. Since this filing is pointing us to other documents for the specifics, let's imagine what we would be looking for. If OPENLANE's revenue in significantly more money than they did in the same period last year, if their net income has also increased by say 20%, that's even better. It means they're not only selling more, but they're also becoming more efficient at turning those sales into actual profit. However, we also need to watch for red flags. For instance, if revenue is up, but profits are down, it could could mean they're spending more to achieve those sales, perhaps through aggressive marketing or discounting. That can be a short-term strategy, but over the long run, it can hurt profitability. Another crucial aspect is their expenses. Are their operating expenses under control, or are they ballooning? If expenses are growing faster than revenue, then even with increased sales, the company might not be as healthy as it first appears. We also need to consider external factors. Is the overall used car market strong? If there's a shortage of new cars pushing more people to buy used, that's a tailwind for OPENLANE. If the opposite is happening, then they might be facing headwinds. Understanding the company's own numbers. So what's my take on OPENLANE based on this filing? It's essentially an announcement that they've made their latest financial report public. The filing itself is a procedural step. The real story will be in examining the actual financial results that are attached as exhibits. Are they showing growth? Are their profits healthy? Are they managing their expenses effectively? These are the questions that will determine the company's strength and direction. Without seeing those specific numbers, we can only infer that they're reporting on their performance and inviting investors to review that performance. Alright, that's our initial look at what OPENLANE has reported. The key takeaway is that they've released their second quarter financials, and we need to dive into those exhibits to truly understand their performance. What are your thoughts on what this filing implies for OPENLANE, or what you expect to see in their financial results? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more in-depth corporate analysis. And don't forget to join our Discord community linked in the description for more discussions and insights. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next Decode.